All right, let's talk about it. Hooligans. Shout out to the hooligans. What up, people? I'm here. I've been gone for the holidays, enjoying time with the family. But I can't forget about my YouTube family and my hooligans. Here's the deal. I've been seeing what's been going on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I done read all the articles. I heard all the podcasts. I done seen all the commentating shows, Undisputed, First Take. I done seen it all. And I'm going to tell you something. Over the past 2 weeks, and some would even say this season, it's been a lot of thievery going on. A lot of buffoonery going on. And we got to talk about it. And I hate to do this to my team, but I got to cook you. We're going to be all over the place. So we're going to start at the top. Bruce Arians. You, sir, are stubborn. You are a stubborn head coach. I heard all the interviews. And yes, they're right. You have been blaming everybody but yourself. I don't want to hear about, well, in practice, we've been able to get that off. I don't know what's going on in the games. You are being routinely outcoached as a head coach. See, you was in the talks of being a Hall of Fame coach. And maybe a Super Bowl would have put you over the top. But I'm seeing that you ain't necessarily all you cracked up to be, sir. I'm just being honest. When it comes to being a head coach, you ain't all you cracked up to be. You being exposed. You're stubborn. You're set in your ways. You refuse to evolve. Something Tom Brady ain't used to. See, throughout the season, Bill Belichick, who is obviously a Hall of Fame coach, evolves throughout the season and evolves season to season. It seemed like no matter what the NFL was doing, whether they moved to a mobile quarterback, run heavy, pass heavy, tight ends, was getting in the game a lot. No matter what the NFL was doing, New England was doing what they wanted to do. And you just had to figure out how to stop it. You can go out there and get your mobile quarterback. You can go out there and have a big name running back. You can go out there and get tower wide receivers. You can go out there and do whatever you wanted to do. But he was still going to beat you because of his mind. We're starting to see that. You don't necessarily possess that talent. I'm not saying you're not a good coach, but you're not a great coach. And see, Tom Brady needs a great coach. And some will venture to say, and so did Jameis Winston. We're going to talk about it. You're being exposed as an average to above average coach. Some would argue an average coach. It's an indictment on you and your career. This ain't the first time or the first quarterback that you blame for everything. That's the narrative on you, sir. You did it in Pittsburgh. You blame Big Ben for a lot of stuff that happened. Now you're blaming Tom Brady. You do it in little subtle ways sometimes, but you don't take ownership. You have to take ownership on the success and the failures of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because you are the head coach. I shouldn't be telling you this. Todd Bowles. I don't know what you're doing. Your defense is so simple. Not only is it simple, it's easy to carve up. Why are you playing and running so much zone? Zone only works against quarterbacks that aren't accurate. That's the only quarterbacks that work against. All you need is a semi-good pass rush to throw an inaccurate quarterback off his spot and off his timing. He's going to make a throw early or throw late, and it allows your sitting corner to make a jump on the ball. You cannot go out there and do that against any quarterback worth his damn weight. You can't do it. But you routinely do it. You don't got the corners for that, sir. And you also see that even in man-to-man, your corners are getting beat. Good teams will beat your corners. The corners aren't as good and as special as we may have thought they were. That's just the honest truth. I'm not saying these guys are no good. I'm just saying that they ain't as good as you think they are. They damn sure not good enough to play zone. The pass rush is not getting home. Early in the season, you were dialing up these exotic blitzes, and you went away from it. As soon as you lost Vita Vea, you went away from it. Now all of a sudden, we don't got a pass rush, and our corners are getting torched. Why is that? If you had a defensive mind, the proper defensive mind, you could draw something up that will highlight the strengths of your corners and hide their weaknesses, but you can't do it. We were looking so promising at safety. All of a sudden, we look very elementary at safety. As the season progresses, we expected this defense to get even better, and they have gotten worse. They have dropped to the middle of the pack. And it all started when we lost Vita Vea. Was Vita Vea that big a part of our defense that losing him would destroy what we was building? Yes, our linebackers are fast, but they use that to our linebackers' disadvantage. The misdirections, the out and ups, that stuff freezes our linebackers. They are out there guessing. They are guessing. That's a problem, sir. I like when you drop JPP out back in coverage. I do like that. Well, guess what that does? It takes away from our pass rush. You got to figure this out. You got to figure out why it's so easy for teams to carve up your defense. You got Jared Goff out there looking like a vintage Peyton Manning out there. This defense needs an overhaul. We don't have the talent at corner like we need. They're starting to expose the youth of our safety. Who started off, Winfield Jr. started off looking like a Pro Bowler, All-Pro, and Rookie of the Year. And now he's routinely getting beat. Teams are figuring it out. They figured our defense out already. And you're not making the proper adjustments. Offense. Byron and Leftwich. You smell like a rookie coach on offense. Let me explain something to you. See, I also, at the beginning of the season, felt like bring Tom Brady in, make him run your offense. Make him run your offense. And let's go forward and do great things. You know why I thought that? I thought that because you said, and BA said, and Jason Light said, you saw no drop-off of Tom Brady. That's what y'all said. Y'all had the fans believing, and not all of them, y'all had the fans believing that there was no drop-off from Tom Brady. Tom Brady cannot complete 20-plus yard passes in any level of consistency. at all. Stop letting him throw deep passes. Tom Brady is a dink and dunk quarterback. Very accurate, short yardage. You have yak masters at wide receivers. Antonio Brown, yak. Mike Evans, yak. Chris Godwin, yak. Scotty Miller, yak. Get on the ball, make a complete accurate pass, and let them get yards after the catch. I get it. You want to throw deep balls to kind of back the defense up a little bit so they can stop teeing off on your quarterback. So that they need to fear the deep ball so they don't feel comfortable blitzing safeties and all that. But you can't do that when you don't got the personnel to do that, specifically the quarterback. Offensive line is not protecting Tom Brady, which we knew that was going to be a problem. And I give it to the Jameis Winston fans. This was the same problem that Jameis Winston had to deal with. The reason why Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards is because he couldn't move. He threw a lot of interceptions, but he couldn't move. Tom Brady ain't moving nowhere. He's going nowhere. He's going to stand in that pocket. I realized that once you hit Tom Brady 2-3 times, even if you don't sack him, he's going to sense the pressure all game. That's all you got to do. If that team is not getting to Tom Brady, then he's fine. He'll sit in the pocket very comfortable. He'll deliver the ball very accurately, and he'll get you 45 points. Tom Brady get a little bit of pressure early in the game, and for the rest of the game, he's seeing phantom and ghost pressure. He's just letting the damn ball go. Stop letting him hold the ball. Have him get rid of the ball. Then I saw something that said, you're starting to let Tom Brady call his own plays. That's a major adjustment to your playbook. That's a major adjustment to the offense. You don't have nobody from New England on your staff, but you're trying to run a New England offense. So that tells me that you need to bring in Josh McDaniels next year and fire Bruce Arians. That's what it sounds like to me. If that's the kind of offense you want to run. But Tom Brady at his age is not going to want to keep getting hit. So he's going to make a lot of mistakes. Tom Brady and Bruce Arians are not a good match. They are not. And Byron Leftwich, you're not seasoned enough to call plays for a veteran quarterback like Tom Brady. You're not accomplished enough, and you're not seasoned enough. You're not it. If we had a young guy in there, rookie, second-year quarterback, or a quarterback that ain't really accomplished nothing, then yeah, you can probably be his offensive coordinator. But for Tom Brady, you got to be here with it. You got to have that mind. You got to have that championship mind in order to coach a quarterback like Tom Brady. And neither Bruce Arians or Byron Leftwich can do that. And it's frustrating the shit out of Tom Brady. And it makes sense for all you Jameis Winston fans why Jameis Winston might have struggled so damn hard. Not only because of offensive line, but these coaches ain't proving that they it. I don't blame Jason Light, because Jason Light put nothing but talent on this field. They're not being coached right. I blame coaching. Tom Brady, you are not playing up to the level that you're supposed to be playing by now. I will give it to you. Some of your wide receivers are just dropping wide open passes. You trying to throw passes out of the backfield, and you don't have the confidence in your receivers that you should, and you don't have confidence of the receiving ability of your running backs. I get it. And you don't have confidence that you ain't going to get punched in the mouth as soon as you drop back. And the previous quarterbacks have had that same issue. But just like we wanted to see if it was Tom Brady or Bill Belichick being the reason why they won so many championships, and we had to see them split to see it, and we see that they need each other, we're starting to see now that Tom Brady by himself is not enough to carry a team without talent, much less a team with talent. I think Tom Brady is worse on a team with talent than he is on a team without talent because he had great coaching. So Tom Brady is, in my opinion, Tom Brady is listening to y'all, but he knows what you're trying to tell him to do ain't it. He knows that's not championship football. He knows it. And he's trying to stay the course and be a good quarterback, not trying to say too much in the media, but he's getting frustrated, and he should be. This coaching staff is not it. It's not it. Bruce Arians is not it. I'm waiting on Bruce Arians to take control of this team, and he's not doing it. I'm waiting on Todd Bowles to take ownership over that defense, and he's not doing it. These guys are out there guessing, people. They are guessing. They don't know what the hell's going on, honestly. And I see the mentality starting to dip a little bit. When they start to struggle, you can really see that struggle on them. The defense, for the most part, stay fired up, but the offense don't. Tom Brady started getting touched a little bit. He started getting frustrated, and the offense start to sputter. And then until they have some good plays that they even get back into the game. And by that time, it's too late. Why are you not letting Rojo be Rojo? Rojo is a top 5 running back in this league. And he's getting 5, 6, 7 carries a game. 9 carries a game. That don't make no damn sense. Why did y'all bring in LaShawn McCoy? He's a pass-catching running back. And where's Keyshawn Vaughn? What are you doing with all these weapons? You're making Tom Brady pass more than he needs to pass. Teams don't have to respect the run because they know we're not going to hand the ball off. All you got to do is get Tampa Bay down by 2 touchdowns or 10 points, 2 scores. We will abandon the run. They already know that, and they send everything they got. We got to fix that, people. Run the damn ball. Offensive line, block. Wide receivers, get separation. When the ball come to you, you got to catch it. Tom Brady, stop being so damn scared. You're going to have to move. You see this offensive line, you can't stand back there and look pretty and brush your hair back. And you ain't got that kind of time. And you're not going to have that kind of time for the rest of the season. You're going to have to move your feet. You got to move the pocket. Brady can take 3 or 4 steps to the right or to the left. Move the pocket. Make beautiful throws down the field. If you want to make them throw the ball deep down the field, you're going to have to move the pocket. You got to set up play action. To set up play action, you got to run the ball. These are things I don't have to tell you. You know this, and you're not doing it. As a coaching staff, you look elementary. You look like you don't know what you're doing. This coaching staff ain't it. And I venture to say, if we miss the playoffs, you're fired. All of you should be fired. If we miss the playoffs, you should all be fired. That's where I'm sitting at today with it. We need a veteran coaching staff and not somebody that's stubborn and not somebody that's out of touch with what the hell the NFL is doing today. We got a problem. Tom Brady signed a 2-year contract. He's supposed to be here next year. Do you get rid of Tom Brady after this season? Does he retire? Do you trade him? Do you keep him, bring in a new coaching staff? Man, there's a lot of decisions to be made when it comes to this situation here. Because there is no reason you should have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Cameron Brate, Rob Gronkowski, Rojo, LaShawn McCoy, Leonard Fournette, all on the same team, all on the field, all at the same time, and you can't move the ball. There's teams with one of those level of players on the team, and they scoring 30 points a game, 40 points. Look at Green Bay. Hell, we got beat by Chicago. The Saints still winning games. There's teams out there without quarterbacks, with rookies and backups that are winning games. And you mean to tell me we roll out on the field with all that talent and we can't score? We're punting, 3 and out. That don't even make sense. If I put that in an email and sent that to somebody and they read that, they'll be like, what? You mean to tell me you got Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and they can't complete a 6-yard pass? How? And guess what? We still got to have another quarterback. I know we got Josh Rosen on the practice squad. And we got to have another quarterback because Tom Brady is done. If not after this year, next year, he's done. We got to bring another quarterback into the sauce. What the hell are we going to do? If Tom Brady can't get this thing turned around, if Tom Brady can't do it, then who the hell can? That's going to be available to us. This is getting out of hand. It's really getting out of hand, people. You lost to the Rams. Then you turn around and lost to Kansas City in a game you could have won. The Bucs fans have been saying this thing ain't looking right. I've been saying that since week 1. I say, I see what we're doing. We're scoring 45 on Green Bay, but it still ain't looking right. It wasn't never looking clean. Bucs fans knew what we was talking about because we know our team. And we know that thing wasn't looking clean. And we're starting to get exposed. Every time we play a good team, we get exposed. You can feast on them bad teams, but them bad teams ain't what you're going to face in the playoffs. And Atlanta just put up 45 points. Atlanta scored points on them. We got to play them twice. We got Detroit to play. We got the Vikings to play. And we got to play Atlanta twice. And all them teams will put up points on them. Especially Atlanta. So y'all got a lot to figure out on this bye week. Going forward, here's what we got to do. And I'm going to end this video. Number 1, Todd Bowles, you're going to have to make this defense play better than they playing. You got to take ownership of this defense, and you're going to have to make these corners, you got to put these corners in position to win. Having them play zone ain't it. They're not good enough, and they're not seasoned enough to play a whole bunch of zone. Because they don't know what they're doing. They can't read. They're guessing. They're guessing because they are ill-prepared for the quarterback they're facing. You're going to have to generate a better pass rush. Consistent pass rush. Especially on third down. These linebackers got to stop allowing their speed to be used against them. It's got to be, they gotta use the speed when it's time to use it, but it's got to be tempered. You can't go full speed ahead every time the quarterback turns his head because they're using it against you. Safeties, stop letting yourself get beat over the top. You're starting to creep down inside the box. Back them up. You got to generate a pass rush with 4. But if not, then you need to draw up some blitzes. But you got to stop getting beat over the top. A wide receiver like Tyreek Hill, you don't play one-on-one. You got to put a safety over the top. Would they do that to us? If we had a receiver as fast as Tyreek Hill, would they let us go one-on-one all game? Hell no. No defensive coordinator in the NFL would do that. Why would you do that? got to take ownership of this defense. Offense. You have to run the ball more often. Run the damn ball. Offensive line, open up some holes and run the ball. Stop having Brady throw 20-plus yard passes. It's not working. And if you're going to have him do that, you got to do it off the back of a play action, or you got to move the pocket. He ain't going to be able to stand in the pocket and deliver a 20-plus yard pass. He cannot do that. And if you're going to switch up the offense to start letting him call plays, then you're going to have to really, 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 really practice that. Because that offense ain't used to that. The offense ain't used to playing New England-style football. Mike Evans ain't never played that way since he's been in the league. Neither has Antonio Brown and neither has Godwin. They used to going down the field, jumping up and getting the ball. Godwin is at least used to getting yak on them short slants and everything, and maybe Scotty Miller. But Scotty Miller been hurt. But they're not used to that. So you're going to have to practice that. You damn sure can't do that in the middle of the season. The bye week allows you an opportunity to do that. Bruce Arians, you need to take ownership of your team. And that means the successes and failures. Stop putting all that pressure on Brady. Because he can't deliver. You put all the pressure on your quarterback. That's a problem. We finally got the kicking game under control, and this is what y'all do. Y'all going to have a come to Jesus moment in that locker room. You're going to have to stop blaming Brady for everything and take ownership. Brady, you're going to have to realize that you cannot make a 20-plus yard pass, and you're going to have to move your feet. You climb the pocket, that's great, but you're going to have to start rolling out a little bit, sir. You're playing scared. As soon as they touch you twice, you start being scared. You're going to have to nut the hell up. If you that damn scared, then you need to retire. Offensive line, y'all going to have to start protecting somebody. Y'all going to have to get some dog in you. You ain't got no dog in you. You're getting routinely beat. This team has to come back out of bye week looking like a whole brand new team. If not, this shit is going to go, and it's already starting to, it's going to go south real fast. And all this hype behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be for naught. You can't play in the spotlight. We already see that. You can't perform if it's a game at any time other than 1 o'clock. It's a lot to figure out. And if you're worth anything, you want to be a Hall of Fame coach and all this stuff, if you're worth anything, if you worth your weight, Bruce Arians, then you will take ownership of this team and you will turn this team around. We're about to see if you were the pending money that we paid you, and we're about to see if you was worth coming out of retirement. Because if not, I'm on board with getting rid of you after this season. Tampa 2, man. Hooligans. Peace.